Thursday night. Strap in. This will be a good one. Two one-loss teams getting together as they're underway on EA Sports. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Rams taking the field, ready for their first offensive series, and led out by their new starter for 2021 in his now 13th season in the National Football League, Matthew Stafford.
And what big news it was back in January when news leaked out that Matthew Stafford was leaving Detroit and heading out west to join the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are hoping he's the missing piece to the puzzle as they seek a Super Bowl title. Over 45,000 yards passing as a Lion, but not a single playoff victory in his...
And right away, he lost the football. And the Seahawks who picked it up. And this drive will start on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Seattle's offense ready to go here for the first time, and leading them is the 7-time Pro Bowler in his 10th year now in the NFL, Russell Wilson.
When I was watching film this week, I had to write a note to myself. 3 touchdown passes in an NFL game deserves respect, not ho-hum just because they throw it around all the time, and he got his respect. NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, it's the ultimate vote of confidence from a week ago. Hey, look, he was great, not his best game ever, but obviously was very good to garner that award. All the talk this week, though, was about let's take that forward now. A look at the numbers from Penny last week. 21 carries, 103 yards, and a touchdown.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Here's Wilson. And that nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way he wanted to start this ball game as it brings up 4th down. And Myers able to knock it through. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get some drive, and they did that. 3 points. They won't turn that down at all.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Open man is Henderson. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40.
Here we go. Here we go.
So defensively here, you've got Matt Stafford at quarterback. Now, we know he's been in the league a long time, but still getting accustomed to playing in a Rams uniform. So what's your biggest key to stopping him?
Well, normally you would say with any quarterback, it's pressure. Number of hits on him in the pocket, keep knocking him to the ground. But Matthew Stafford's one of the toughest quarterbacks in the league. He just keeps picking himself up and firing downfield. To me, it's that coverage of receivers, and when they go to make a catch, make sure you have someone there trying to make a play on the football.
And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Here's Stafford. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. The ball comes out, and Hawks have picked it up.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Here's Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. Charles, Thursday night game, think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. Dancing to his left. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now this throw caught left side. Still good. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Dwayne Eskridge, his second touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. So an early 10-0 lead for him now as they kick it away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's enough. And it's out. He put it on the carpet. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it, and somehow he got to it.
He's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Penny, a first down carry, shrugs him off. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now a throw out to his fullback is complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it.
Hold on a second. Was that the fullback? That was the fullback. Who says that the slot receivers are the only guys who can catch the football and get big yardage after the catch? Really nice job there. Showing good hands and an ability to get upfield.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now Wilson. And this incomplete. He tried to check it down to his running back and nearly had the ball picked.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And it's caught.
And the Seahawks are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Beautiful throw right there on 3rd down, and it looked like this was going to be 6 points, but a nice touchdown-saving tackle at the end of this. Even still, this offense is knocking on the door now with a 1st and...
And he will not be denied. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Rashad Penny, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Myers connects on the PAT, and that makes our score 17-0. Out is the and send this one away.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's second down. Another try after the first down sack. Stafford. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
I like the thinking there, because right after a sack, it can be a great time to call for a screen to your running back and use the eagerness of the defense against him. Able to gain some positive yards out of this one and make things a little bit easier for him on third down.
That's complete to his tight end, Higbee. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
And Tyler Higbee just keeps getting better and better as a receiver. Makes a nice grab there for a first down. In his 6th season now, all with the Rams, 6'6", 255. And we saw Matthew Stafford like working with T.J. Hockenson the last couple of years. He's going to love working with Tyler Higbee.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career.
First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this.
Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
So they keep the football, but now face second and long.
Here's Stafford. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there, back at the 39-yard line. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big.
And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawks touchdown.
Let's go!
You normally talk about the mobility and the accuracy first, but the arm strength, that's what can turn Russ into danger Russ.
And I'm telling you, nothing will let up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half.
It's a squibber picked up around the 27.
And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock.
Now he'll go deep down the middle. And incomplete on the deep ball. So we've come to halftime after a very... You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it.
Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
Yeah, boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw caught here by Metcalf.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
Nice throw. Big man catches the football for a first down, and that big man, that's DK Metcalf, the 9th receiver taken in the 2019 draft class. I think if we redid it, he might very well be the first one off the board. 83 catches for 1,300 yards last year.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. The throw over the middle taken in. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A big play that time through the air. 36 yards. So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. Flush to his right. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 11 on the year. And the Seahawks take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that will extend this big lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was Russell Wilson finishing things off with a touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
2nd down and 3.
Now Stafford. And his throw here is incomplete.
Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. Here's Johnny Hecker now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. Returnable for Lockett. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, there's so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that one or two guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
Wilson leaves this one with Penny. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Wilson's throw caught by Metcalf, and he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good, soft in spots. There's an easy throw and catch for another first down.
Gets around him. Oh, and now he bowls him over, and he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Now in Seattle, Washington. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Meanwhile, the throw here is complete, and they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Well, partner, nothing but praise from me for this offense. They have been tremendous all night long. They knew what they had to do to unlock the defense. And let's face it, this has been a master class in offensive football that we've been.
Touchdown, Seahawks! DK Metcalf with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Seahawks are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead will slow by 1 more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big 4th quarter hole. Meanwhile, Stafford's throw, it's complete into the hands of Higbee. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Stafford's throw here hauled in by Kupp. And he's brought down.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too.
There he goes, right side. Touchdown, L.A. Van Jefferson. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Rams are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by Gay is up and good as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. A run by Dallas to start the drive. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
54 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that plan any down.
A beautiful fake. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
It's caught, Lockett. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and look like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
Yeah, boy, and it's tough to bring him down that time. He surges forward. He's going to get a full 6 out of that. Second down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle is going to be made at the Rams' 28.
Oh, a lot of credit to the play caller here. He saw the design in his mind and implemented it. A little zone stretcher here because they started the tight end on the left side of the formation and sent him on a crossing route. And this works really well when you can find that space between levels, and they were able to do so for good yardage.
That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Wilson wants to throw it. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. They'll try and run for it with Penny. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. So, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Seahawks, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1.